Hi, friends. Can anyone tell me what this is? Take a good look. What's inside this jar? Can you see them? They're jelly beans. Jelly beans are one of Miss Carla's favorite snacks. I want to read a book to you today about jelly beans. Jelly beans in a jar, but not a little jar like this. Jelly beans in a great big jar. Our book is about our friend Ben, and he loves jelly beans. The title of our book is The Giant Jelly Bean Jar. The author is Marcy Abuff, and let's start. Ben loved jelly beans. He loved going to JoJo's jelly bean shop. Every weekend, JoJo had a contest, a jelly bean contest. He would give all the kids a riddle, and he'd say, "Guess which flavor jelly bean?" Oh, it's the answer to the riddle. The person with the right answer won a big jar full of jelly beans. Here's JoJo and his shop. Every Saturday, Ben went to JoJo's shop with his sister Jill. Said Ben, "I love jelly beans. Today I'm going to win that jar." "Oh, you say that every week," said Jill. It was hard to win the prize. You had to say the answer in a loud voice. You had to say it in front of everyone in the store. Ben always knew the answers to JoJo's riddles, but he never won the jelly beans. Here's Ben with his sister Jill and some of the other kids that came to the jelly bean store. They're ready for the contest. "Ben, you're too shy," said Jill. She told him to raise his hand up high and speak in a very loud voice, but all Ben could say was, "Okay," and he said it pretty quietly. I don't know if that's going to be enough for JoJo to hear him. JoJo stepped out from behind the counter. "Hello, my friends," he called. The kids cheered. "Here is this week's jelly bean riddle. Everybody listen. I'm a long yellow fruit with skin you peel back. I'm tasty at breakfast and I make a great snack." All right, friends. What do you think? Yellow fruit, skin that you pull back, tasty at breakfast, and a tasty snack. Let's see if anybody can guess what the riddle is. Kids waved their hands high in the air. Ben saw Jill raise her hand. He raised his hand too, but he was very nervous. He saw bigger kids. He heard louder kids. Ben started to feel funny. He lowered his hand. JoJo looked around at all the children and he pointed to Jill. "Banana!" Jill cried. "You're right," JoJo said. "We have our jelly bean princess." And he handed Jill the large jar of jelly beans. How do you think Jill felt? I think she was pretty proud of herself. "Oh, nuts," Ben said to himself. "I knew the answer. Why did I put my hand down?" Jill was a good big sister, and so she shared her jelly beans with Ben. Ben didn't say anything. He wanted to answer the jelly bean riddle himself. The next Saturday, Ben and Jill went back to the jelly bean shop. "Who's ready to be this week's winner?" JoJo asked. Everyone cheered. "Guess this jelly bean flavor." Everyone, let's listen to the clues. I'm a big round pie with cheese and sauce too. A slice would be nice. How many for you?" Oh, look at JoJo. He's so excited. Do you know what's big and round, comes in a pie, has cheese and sauce, and comes in slices? I think I know the answer. I wonder if Ben knows. Jill whispered, "Go for it, Ben." Ben raised his hand. This time he didn't lower it. But there was another boy who had his hand up higher than Ben's. JoJo pointed to that boy instead of Ben, and the boy yelled, "Pizza! The answer's pizza!" Well, JoJo said, "Right you are, and here's your jelly bean jar. We have a new jelly bean prince." And there he is with his big jar of jelly beans. But how do you think Ben is feeling? He didn't win again. I think he might be a little sad. What do you think? Ben and Jill walked home together. "Don't worry, Ben," Jill said. "Next time you'll win for sure." And the next Saturday, when Ben and Jill went to JoJo's shop, they were in for a surprise because this week was different. It was special. JoJo's Jelly Bean shop had been open for 1 whole year. JoJo was having a big party. Look, he's got balloons and banners, and everyone is all excited about the party. The store was more crowded than ever, and JoJo stepped from behind the counter. He raised a very, very big jar of jelly beans over his head, and everyone cheered. "Who will be my grand prize winner today?" he asked. Kids waved their hands high. Me, they called. Look at that huge jelly bean jar. JoJo has to hold it up with 2 hands. It's so big. I'm really excited. I wonder who's going to win that. Ben looked at that jelly bean jar. It was the biggest jar of jelly beans he had ever seen. He listened carefully to JoJo's riddle. Let's listen. "I'm yummy with jelly and can be spooned from a jar. Between slices of bread, I'm a true sandwich star." Ben's thinking. What do you think the answer to the riddle is? Do you think Ben has it right? Let's see. Ben knew the answer right away. Good for you, Ben. This time he lifted his hand up high and he kept it up. He looked at the jar again and smiled and raised his hand a little higher. Then he raised it as high as he could. He even stood on his tippy toes. JoJo looked out at the big crowd. So many kids. "Oh, let me see. Who am I gonna pick?" he said. And then he pointed at Ben. Ben was so surprised, he forgot the answer to the riddle. Oh no. Everyone waited for Ben to speak, but he didn't say anything. Some people started to wave their hands and say, "Me, me, me." But Ben still didn't say anything. Jill looked at the crowd. "Oh no, Ben, you have to answer." Then she looked at Ben. He still didn't answer. Then Jill lifted her foot and bonk, she stepped right on Ben's toes. "Oh, nuts!" Ben cried. See, here's Ben, and he knows the answer, but nothing comes out. "Nuts," Ben thought. "Peanuts," he whispered. Then Ben remembered, what do we have to do? We have to raise our hand high and speak with what kind of voice? A loud voice, a big voice like we're going to use in kindergarten. And Ben remembered the answer to the riddle and he shouted, "Peanut butter!" "Yes," Jill shouted. "Yes," JoJo cried. JoJo placed a sparkling crown on Ben's head and he handed him the large jar of jelly beans. Yay, Ben! "How does it feel to be the grand prize jelly bean king?" Jill asked Ben. "Great," Ben said, loud and clear. He did not feel one bit nervous. Look at Ben's face now. Do you see his smile? I think he's happy that he finally won. On the way home, Jill patted Ben on the back. "You did it," she said. Ben grinned. "Thank you for stepping on my toes," he said. Jill grinned back. That's what sisters are for. The end. How did you like the giant jelly bean jar? When you're talking about this book at home, ask yourself, how did Ben feel when he didn't win a jar of jelly beans? Do you think he was happy or sad or maybe disappointed? How do you think he felt? And then let's think about Jill, Ben's sister. She was very kind to him. She kept encouraging him to keep trying. She wanted him to raise his hand and speak with a loud voice, just like you'll do when you go to kindergarten. So I want you to also think about who encourages you to do your best. All right then, thank you for letting me share the giant jelly bean jar. We'll get together again soon. See you later.